you need to make sure that your site is indexed by Google. And to do that, it is a very simple and easy command, but you can do it 3 or 4 different ways. And if one doesn't work, then you can try the other ones. So you simply have to type in site and yourdomainname.com as a search query inside Google, and make sure your site shows up. If your site doesn't show up, then that means you're facing some problem and Google has not indexed your site. Which could be the result of some kind of penalty happening on your site, or some setting within your site, which could be your no indexing, or maybe you're blocking the Google bot. So you need to examine things further. You can do a basic penalty check in that by looking at Google Search Console. And within the Search Console, there could be 2 kinds of penalties you're getting. One could be an action against your site. Basically, this is a notice from Google that comes within your Search Console. So it's like a message. And so if it has an action against site notice, that means your site has been de-indexed by Google, and it's a pretty severe penalty. And the only way you can recover from that is by sort of sending Google an email and telling them that, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. Maybe my SEO agency that I hired out did some black hat SEO and they went a little bit overboard, and I'm really sorry. And you need to really plea, right? So you need to accept first, and you need to tell them that, I made the mistake of hiring the wrong agency. Don't tell them you built the links, because that's not going to be a good sign. But you got to tell them that be really apologetic and send them a plea and literally beg them to put your site back into the index. And you need to tell them that you've cleaned up all the bad links, you've cleaned up your site, you've cleaned up all the toxic backlinks and all the black hat work that was done by the agency you hired. Everything has been sort of cleaned up. You've contacted the webmasters of the sites where these backlinks exist, and you've told them to delete the links, and some of them have and some of them haven't. But Google basically wants to see that you're making an effort over here. So as long as you tell them you're making an effort and you have a certain percentage of sites that delete the toxic backlinks, then Google, a real person at Google, will look at your link profile and probably may sort of lift the penalty, and your site will start ranking again. It may not rank as high as it was in the past, but it'll definitely get indexed once again. And if you have an action against links notice, you can't really do anything. There's in the sense you can't. It's not a manual sort of action. It's an algorithmic action. So the only way you can get your rankings back, and mind you, the action against link is less severe than an action against your site, because the action against site de-indexes your entire site, but an action against links drops your rankings across the board. So you'll notice a drop in organic traffic, because a lot of the keywords that you were ranking for gradually start dropping in their rankings. And the only way to fix that is to start deleting all the toxic links, the ones that you feel are really bad links or thin links, like bad blog comments or some forum spam or some directory spam or things like that. So you can just start cleaning those up. And just if you don't have a Search Console account set up and you really don't know how to check for a penalty, or if you've been hit, the only thing you can do is you can actually search. So if you want to check whether a particular page or a post has been penalized, you take the title tag, you take everything that's there in the title tag, right, of that post, and you put it in quotes and you paste it into Google search and hit enter. And if that page shows up as the number 1 ranking page for that title tag, and that's a fairly long title tag, then that means that page has not been hit. However, if that page doesn't show up or is like way down, then that means that page has probably been penalized. The next thing you need to do is you need to look at the total number of pages from your website that has been indexed by Google. You need to make sure that the maximum number of pages that exist on your site have been indexed by Google, because if like a large section of your site has not been indexed by Google, then that's a big red flag.